Welcome to Rocketship, the home of epic React Native content. I'm Simon Grimm, creator of Galaxy's Dev, and today's guest is Giovanni Laquidara from Italy, currently in London. So thanks for joining me, Giovanni.
Thank you, Simon. Everyone, yes, of course. I'm Giovanni. I'm from Italy, but living in London. Yes, you're right. So, yeah.
I saw Giovanni the first time at the last App.js, where he gave a talk with your colleague. Oh, I lost the name. It
Eric.
was Eric, exactly. And the topic was TV app development with React Native. And that definitely caught my interest because so far I only did iOS, Android. I maybe did web because I'm a cool universal app guy, but I haven't done anything related to TV development. And I think most people never did. But React Native can do so cool things that I just had to bring you on to talk about TV app development today. Before we do that, however, I would just love to introduce you. So you're a developer advocate currently working at Amazon. I think this is the first time I'm talking to someone from Amazon.
Really?
Okay. I feel honored.
Yeah, what a big responsibility I have now.
Oh, yeah. So, probably you can do it in the best way. Tell us a bit about yourself and your role at Amazon.
So yes, I'm joined Amazon 2 years ago, 2 years and 2 months ago as a developer advocate. Before I was a software engineer especially an Android engineer. So I came from the native Java, Kotlin, Android development, and I jumped into React Native 1 year and a half ago. Of course, working in Amazon, I'm in the Amazon devices and services team. So that the devices that are going through the between the tablets, Fire TV, that's why I'm also interested in TV development, and even Alexa. And what I discovered, of course, my day-to-day job is as a developer advocate, is going at conference, create content, app developers, no? And while I was working in creating TV apps of course, for Fire TV, but even for other platforms, I discovered that React Native is one of the it's an amazing tool to fix the it's an amazing tool to fix the issue that we have with a lot supporting different OSs. That's the thing, the fragmentation.
Right.
Yes, that's the right word. I missed it. Yeah.
So you said you're traditionally an Android developer.
Yeah.
Did you already touch TV stuff back then, or was it only native mobile Android development?
I did some work with Android TV, specifically in Kotlin, Java before. So using the leanback. If somebody of you is curious, you can go to the Google official docs and look for that in the Amazon one. So the leanback, old Java library for Android TV, Fire TV as well. And then a little bit of work with Kotlin for some clients in Italy. That's the thing.
So how did the React Native movement at Amazon started? Did you kick off the whole topic, or was it started already before you joined?
No. I mean, it was already started before in Amazon. Actually, it was actually one of my slides at the presentation. One of our slides with Eric was about how Amazon is using React Native inside their teams. That it was something not really well known before, but Amazon is working with React Native since years, with the majority of their apps, from the marketplace. So as you can imagine, apps that need to scale a lot across different devices, not only TV. And Amazon Photo, I think music as well. Yeah, there is a slide, and there is also as an Amazon team, we inserted our apps that are using React Native in the React Native Showcase webpage.
Yeah, I think I saw in the React Native Showcase a lot of Amazon stuff. There's also maybe I don't know how much insight you have, because you said Photos app, Amazon Kindle, Alexa, shopping. To what degree is React? No, she heard me. The lady. To what degree is React Native used? Because I honestly can't imagine. Is the main Amazon app built with React Native, or is it a brownfield app that's using?
No. Yeah, of course I cannot. I'm not able to. I cannot disclose. the use but. What can I say is some apps are totally in React Native, some apps are parts in React Native. So as you can imagine, they are really old and big projects. So I guess brownfield, but of course I cannot discuss how their product team. Sometimes I don't even know because I just even they don't discuss with me. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. But these are officially using React Native. So if you download the app and you try to decompile the app, okay, I cannot say this, but a lot of people can do that. And discover what libraries are used to. Let's see.
Yeah, Evan Bacon has a great article on like tons of companies using
Yeah.
Expo and React Native in their apps. So probably there's Amazon somewhere listed as well, or different Amazon
Mm.
apps, TV apps at Amazon.
Yeah.
Um, you actively worked on like the React Native TVOS. Honestly, as I said, I have never used it before. Just like yesterday and today, I tried to build it a
Mm-mm.
bit and get it to a simulator. I actually didn't achieve that goal because I don't know what problem came up here.
I
But
can help you
what
later.
what I like for people listening who have absolutely no idea about this, what is the first step to like getting started with React Native and TV apps? How does it
Yeah.
work?
So the first things like you can think about, okay, let's use the normal React Native like to build for TV apps. And that's kind of work with Android TV. But if you want to tackle like another platform that is one of the most important is like TVOS, that is not going to work. So you have to use TVOS, React Native TVOS. It's like a fork of React Native maintained by Downloader. It's open source. It's there, and it's like inside that branch, inside that fork, there are like a lot of, I will say, utilities, but it's not really like it's like making them smaller. It's like a lot of functionalities optimized and implemented to support that platform, so TVOS, and then it's automatically working for their TV as well. And Fire TV as well, because Fire TV is running FireOS that is based on the Android open source operating system. And so, like starting from that React Native tvOS, you can decide without using Expo to build your app. Like I would say, without using Expo, but I am a big fan of Expo. Like it makes easier to develop in React Native right now. And like since the beginning of this year, Expo is also supporting building for TV with React Native TVOS. So you can actually jumpstart. There is a web page, so probably later we can put on the web page in the
Yes, I
description,
will.
right? Yeah.
Yes, will
So
do.
like as a developer, you can just go to the page and like start to from the command line of Expo to create your empty project for TV. And that project is gonna build a run for Android TV, Fire TV, and tvOS, and the web platform. Of course, maybe there are like some. It's still like sometimes a work in progress, like task. So there could be some bugs here and there. I'm helping to support the demo app for the demo boilerplate that a lot of people like can start use to check actually an actual TV in React Native app. And it's like Ignite TV. So like probably many of you know Ignite, that is from Infinite
Infinite
Red.
Red.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is a boilerplate for like you can test a lot of components, you can test the navigation like across different devices, tablet and smartphone. But this branch that Doug created like is Ignite TV. It's based on that one of the original boilerplate, but it's running on TV. So it has all the configuration that you need. And the things that I did, like, because the first time that I approached this world of React Native and TV development, I went there to that repository. I started to say, okay, maybe we can do this better, or we can apply, because, like TV apps needs to follow a sort of best practice or guidelines that are coming from different companies and even from the best well-known apps. you already know, like when you watch a streaming, you probably already use that app. So like there are some best practice to follow. That's why I decided to, okay, let's see if I can apply these best practices on the boilerplate app Ignite TV in React Native TVOS. So what I suggest to you, like, okay, you can start from scratch with React Native TVOS, build your app, start from there, or use Expo. That's what I like to do it. That's what I like to do. And if you want like a straight away, like a straightforward demo app that is like more complete and like it's a boilerplate, so there are a lot of things inside, you can fork the project Ignite TV. That is in the GitHub of React Native TVOS, by the way.
Yeah, these are some good places to get started. I actually tried the Expo way, which, funny enough, at this point even has, let me see, the command. So npx create Expo app, my TV project, and then you can even use a template with router TV.
Yes.
So with dash router dash TV. So you get like a project with TVOS and Expo router included.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really cool. I just can't get it to my Apple TV simulator for whatever reason. It just tries to like no development build for this project is installed. Please make
Are you
and
using?
install a development build first. I did a pre-build, but it's just like not deploying to the simulator yet. Maybe we can figure it out later.
I had a friend of mine that had a similar issue with the TVOS simulator, but he was trying to use Expo Go on the.
Yeah, I think
But it's
that
not
is a fair
support.
point.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not supported Expo Go. So you have to build and run it. Like, say that
Oh
with
my goodness!
yarn,
Maybe you just fixed it.
yarn iOS. Maybe yes. I fixed this one. I fixed this issue like 2 days ago to a friend of mine. So
Oh, this could be a
maybe.
problem I actually have. But the interesting thing is that I checked this repository out, I installed it, and as you said, it's now using for React Native the React Native TVOS fork or dependency.
Yeah.
I understand why this is required. I just feel like is somebody like all the time pulling in the native updates from React Native into that fork so it like stays always on top with what's going on in like the real React Native?
Yeah, I know. That's the same. Let me say, it's the same issue when you have the out of tree platform from like deriving from React Native. So like, what I felt is like it's a little bit behind of React Native, like the official last version of React Native, like maintained from Meta, another open source maintainer. But it's constantly maintained by Doug and many other developers. So like, I would say 1 or 2 versions below the official one, but it's like updated often.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, one question I had about this is this somehow messing up my React Native code, or like do people in general just have specific projects for TVOS? Because as you said, I can actually have like a website built from this project,
Yeah.
right? So
Exactly.
how hard is it to like combine everything to have like all the platforms covered in this one project? Would you recommend this, or would you set up separate React Native apps
I
for
would
like?
like, that's my personal opinion. I would have like a separate repository that is like a monorepo for TV and monorepo because it's like building for different TVs. Why I recommend this? Because like it's very hard to maintain 2 different platforms that are really, really different. You know, like the TV is not a big tablet. Sometimes people tell me, oh, but the TV is just a big tablet. You know, like I can like in terms of UI change a lot, but in terms of interaction, because of course you need to use the remote instead of the touch screen. I cannot touch my TV. Oh, by the way, I have the demo app here. So it's if you want to have one app covering all the different platforms from TV to smartphone and whatever, is gonna be a little bit trickier. There are some apps that maybe can be done like this, but I prefer to have like separate. So like one monorepo for React Native, the tablet apps and smartphone apps, and one monorepo for different TV platform. That is like, that presents a lot of complexity because like I said, there is a fragmentation. So like I have the TV here, my TV that is like from LG. Like I said also during my presentation. So like this TV is running WebOS. It's a web-based operating system, so you need to build a web app essentially. But having the same monorepo of your TV app for Fire TV, Android TV, tvOS, you can build the web version, and then you can package that JavaScript and HTML5 version of your app into a package that will be compatible with different TV, like this one on my back. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I get this right. Would you also recommend a mono repository if I want to like just focus on Apple TV and Fire TV OS? Would you do 2 separate projects for like? Are there really big differences between TV OS and like
No,
Android?
I recommend a monorepo for TVs. So across all the different TVs. That's the thing.
There's so many differences between these. Like, I think I never compared this. Usually, you have like one TV in your house.
Like I said, like there is a massive problem. Is the fragmentation. You can think about fragment. Like when I was a mobile developer, Android developer, like a lot of people say, you are an Android developer. You are trying to solve the fragmentation every day. And like, yes, but TV is even more complicated because each manufacturer has its own operating system. Of course, I work for Amazon, so I work mostly with Fire TV. But like I say, I have LG TV and Apple TV here, and like one of the majority of problem, like the one of the most important problem, is like the difference between the SDKs, which operative system is supporting what. Another difference can be the remote. That sometimes, I mean, the similarity is like having a up directional cross, but sometimes the TVOS has the Apple TV has the is like a touchpad. The LG remote can be used like a mouse. There is like it reminds to me the Wiimote that I was using to play with a Wii. So yeah, that can makes the development of DBR a little bit tricky and complicated. But React Native is
The
helping you a lot.
the Apple TV remote is just a bad joke. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. It's like completely. It comes close, like before, the Magic Mouse, where you have the USB charger on the I don't know what went wrong in like these design decisions, but anyway.
I don't understand the system well. Yeah,
So during I would love to come back to your app.js presentation because you brought up some really cool topics in there. We already covered a few of them, so maybe we get started with a general size. A TV is like so much bigger than my iPhone and my tablet. What do people have to consider? Because I think you said something like you have more size but less interactive elements, right?
Yes. So like everything is like based on what the usage of a TV is. If you think about the TV is used many times when your usage is like on the sofa, relax. So that user doesn't want any complicated interaction. It just wants probably to watch his movie, use your content of your app. It can be like different, or maybe have some light gaming. And then like many times it's far from the TV. It's like like my mom was ever using to say this to me, like don't stay close to the TV too much. But not at this level. So we are talking when we talk about TV, there is this keyword that I learned when I start developing TV, like 10-foot UI. It's like 3 meters, around 3 meters for the meter speaking people here. So like you usually need to design your UI thinking about a lot of this. Exactly, yes. Like 3 meters. Like a lot of distance between the user and your app UI. So some elements need to be big, like big enough. Their text should be readable. You need to think about accessibility. This is a problem. This is a problem to fix in every app, like website and smartphone and so on. But it can be more and more important on the TV. And then the navigation should be easy, seamless. The user doesn't want to be bothered with complex navigation and like complex interaction, even animation sometimes. Too fancy animation, maybe it's better to avoid that one, even because that impact performance. We can talk later about it. And then also one thing that I like to say that, like, for example, I have this demo app here, like you can see this like
right, for people watching on YouTube, you can see it in the background.
Yeah, okay. I have a demo app. I think I will share on GitHub this one as well. I have a similar project. So like there is a grid of cars that can be rectangular, square, whatever you want. But the grid is aligned with the interaction tool that the user has. So, because you have a directional cross to interact with your app, the UI need to be you need to represent this kind of interaction. So they need to I don't know to say, like this UI need to make easier for a user to understand that if I press up, my focus component, focus a UI, focus an element will move to the up position. And sometimes like it's not like easy to think. Right? We just say, this is easy. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like you have to really streamline the interface. It's like up or down, left and right. That you can't think about like all the circles and left and right and having smooth edges everywhere. And
but it's something that you can have on the smartphone, because the smartphone on tablet you just touch. So, but in the TV, no, you need to. That's like following the best guidelines. And sorry.
It's so interesting because like the difference if you go from web to mobile for people, there's already like a shift in like you have to think about, I only have this small device, and there are a lot of different things that you need to consider that are completely different in a mobile application than in a website. And now, if we go to TVOS, just thinking about that, users will be 3 meters away from what they're actually using. Like, you're never 3 meters away from your laptop. You never think about this, or even like your smartphone. It's pretty much the same distance like a desktop usually. This is something entirely different when you develop for TVOS. This is,
And I want to add also one more thing. There are platforms that are based on virtual reality. There are like headset around us, and even these kind of devices have streaming apps or like something that resembles TV apps. And usually, what I saw, because I tested a little bit, like when the user is using these streaming apps, media apps, is they are placing the screen. No, of course, not like close by. They place the screen like a virtual TV, so like far away from them. So like this can help. This TV UI design can help also with these other kind of platforms. It's like the VR stuff. That's a big one.
This is so cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've seen the demos as well, and it's always far away. So the next thing you already said, and hold up the remote. This is something that I'm curious about as well, because we're not navigating with our finger or with a pointer or with anything. We're like, I don't know. Maybe you can have a touch screen from time to time with tvOS. I don't know if you can.
There are like, for example, for TVs, like there are some for TV running on automotive platform. So that's meaning that the screen that maybe you have in the back of your car, for your passenger, is actually a TV, similar to the one you have like when you take the airplane, for a long flight. And that is actually a TV with a touchscreen, so you also need to take care of that. So, yeah, there are.
But in most cases, like what you said, people are gonna be on the couch and they have this remote control. So how does the integration work? Do I have to like catch all the left-right events of that control in my React Native code now?
So yes, I would say yeah. So usually, yeah, that's part of the fragmentation. I told you, like. So usually with the cross, I don't have any problem. So with the left right, it's called LIUD, left right up and down. There is an acronym LIUD. It's usually mapped at the same way across different platforms. Of course, if they're using the touchpad, it's a different beast. And usually the back button, home button, they are like mapped almost the same. I say almost because like I had an issue with my LGTB that was like raising an event that I was expecting like the back button handled by like the web, because it's based on the web, the same with the key code. I don't remember now the key code, but instead like it was the event back button was raised with a different key code. So I had to put actually an if in the code just to make it work for with these other like OS. So yeah, the mapping of the key was like the mapping of the keys. The key mapping is like is an issue that it's part of the fragmentation, and that's bringing me to another issue of TV app development is testing, because you need to be sure to test to the majority of platforms as possible. Yes, you can use the emulator, but what about that TV that your user can buy in a market that you never considered? So like, yeah, that's gonna be an issue. So like, test.
Okay, so can I get back to test? But
yeah,
I'm just like this left-right thing. Is this automatically handled? Like in your background, you have this grid. It kind of looks like a Netflix style application. Let's say you have these horizontal rows of stuff. Like if you do just a map of your elements and you create these little boxes, do you have to like specifically handle, okay, this is row 1, or like does tvOS automatically calculate your layout elements?
No, yeah. I mean, for under TV and for TV and tvOS, they're automatically doing that for you. Especially for, like I said, left, right, up and down. There is some issue with other buttons, like menu buttons that can be like mapped differently. But the normal navigation, yes, it's handled like by default by the platform. What they handle differently can be the focus. So like if I press left and I am on the menu here, if I press right and I'm on that highlighted menu, like which element of this grid should be highlighted? The first on the row, the second, maybe the one that you highlighted before. That's can vary by platform. Okay.
I think this was also, I don't know, was it in your talk as well, but yeah, the whole focus management thing. Because I mean, on a device, I think there's no real focus. I mean, we have hover elements on the web if we browse over but with the remote, we always need to like show where the focus on the screen is, right?
Yeah. So focus management, it was in my talk. I touched it a little bit because like it's a topic that you can write books around that. It seems something easy because okay, I should just focus on element. But then, because you have the fragmentation, and because even there could be some issue in interpreting the focus, even developer by developers, maybe a developer want to highlight, like I say, when you go back, which item do you want to highlight? The previous one or the first one on the row? Like the closest one to your previous focus, or the previous one? There are libraries that help you, like in React Native, there are libraries that help you to deal with that in automatically way, I would say, like taking me off the burden of think about focus management. And I said this in my presentation. There is a library from BAM Theodore. It's called Reactive Space Navigation on GitHub. It's open source, and like that's helped a lot in React Native to handle the focus management. There are different libraries. These libraries is component based, so like you can just use it's a declarative based. You just wrap your components around the components of this library, and that will make the focus work. And then there are also some other libraries, pretty old also in JavaScript that are hook based. Yeah, we can post later like all the links.
Yes, we're going to put the links in the note, also to the talk you mentioned, of course, to all the libraries. Yeah, that's. I think we already had like 4 or 5 different categories you have to think about when building TV apps. So I think it becomes clear that it's really like not that easy. I mean, React Native makes it easy, but then there are so many, unless you can't get it to your simulator like I. So I would really love to see this on my. Like, if I can build an app here, I mean, that I can build apps for my smartphone. My whole family already thinks I'm a wizard. But if I can get this to the Apple TV in our living room and like display something, I'm like gonna be Houdini of this family.
You remind me, like I told to my mom, like she's old. Of course, I was telling her I'm working with TV app development and TVs, and she asked me, "Oh, which channel I can see you?" I said, "No, it's not that. I will present on the.
Just curious, how do I like? Maybe we're gonna postpone this question for a second because we're gonna come back to that. So let's wrap up by TV performance. I think one thing that we don't, I mean, when we are working with devices, we know that they're like older Android devices, but I feel like TVs are things we keep even longer. So do we have to put even more consideration into like the whole topic of performance?
Yes, that's like the super yes, and that's why. That's because the TV, because fragmentation, like of course that's the usual problem.
That's always the answer.
Yeah, and then like when you buy a TV, usually the price is based on the screen. Like you can buy a good quality TV because it has like, I don't know, super OLED. I don't even know now. I'm not like I don't know all this technology, like OLED screen. So maybe your TV is expensive because the screen is expensive. And then the hardware that is actually running all the software is like not so powerful. Like maybe can be compared by a 5 years old Android phone. Then you have this world of the TV, like the Fire TV sticks, something that you connect on normal TV and make it smarter. That's also sometimes can be like not expensive at all, but that means that the hardware is not powerful enough, like your smartphones, not like your like probably like I would say like 5-6 years old Android phone. So imagine when you are developing for this platform, you need to take care of performance, because when the user, the same logic as before, when the user is like super tired after a big day job, like they at this job, and they are on the sofa, they don't want to have like a TV that is not responsive at all. Otherwise, they just crash in the controller and throw the TV by on the balcony, on the window. So like you need to take care of the performance. One of the things I suggested in my presentation, like to one of the most easy win to tackle with the performance, like check if you can check like the platform when your apps are running on, maybe with feature flags, something like that. If it's not powerful enough, cut off all the animation. I had some issue, or I had some like experiment like with my old Fire TV stick, so like very very like the lowest end Fire TV stick that I have. And if I, like I have the demo up here, so but like if you, when I change focus, there is like a little bit a scaling animation of the card. You know, the cards is like it's highlighted by a white rectangle, but it's also scaling a little bit. And this animation was performing really bad on a low-end devices. So was like, actually the UI was not really responsive. Every time I pressed like left, after half a second, the focus was changed. So that is not optimal. It's not the optimal experience, of course, for a user that is tired or just want to enjoy a movie. So just cutting out the animation in that case helped a lot, and the UI was fluid again. So yeah, it's important.
So you said I can, or we should check like the platform and then decide this. How can I like globally disable animation? Is it quite easy to do this with some flag? Because usually I think like animations are scattered around my application. Is there like a central place where I can just say no animations at all?
No, I mean you need to work with feature flags.
And okay, in all the places.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the places, or maybe you create a component in React Native specifically. You can create like a component is like an animated component, and then inside there is the logic based on the feature flag that it's deactivated animation for you when you are using like this card. Maybe it's an animated card that is actually cutting off the animation when a certain feature flag is met. So yeah, you can actually do something like that. Otherwise, yeah, the dirty way is like scattering across. But,
yeah, I understand. Okay, so that already gives me a lot of information of how I built my app. Now to the actual building of my app.
Yes.
Maybe starting locally. So as I said, in the living room, I have an Apple TV. What is the easiest way to like get my React Native app here from my MacBook to my Apple TV? Does it maybe even work over the network? So because I can like buy this, with the current Expo version, I can deploy to my device over the network. Yeah. How can I deploy it to the Apple TV?
So you can like. So I didn't test on the actual Apple TV if you can like actually connect, but it should be the same. Like you can test it. Maybe you need to register your device as a development device. Like Apple has this. Like, okay, in Expo you don't need to use that. So first of all, Expo Go on TVOS is not supported still, so you cannot use Expo Go.
You need to make a
deploy the app. Maybe you need to register the TVOS TV app, the TV for TV that you have as a developer device. You need to pass through the official Apple TV. For Android is easy, so I tried it, and then so I used the emulator for my Apple TV. I said this. And for Android it's easy. You just activate debug developer options. That's working on Android TV and Fire TV. Developer option, enable IDB, Android debug bridge. With the command line, you connect your device on your laptop. You need to run IDB connect IP address. Let's say it's something that I didn't hear as well. And then when you build the app and push it to you use Yarn. So you do Yarn, Android, and then you specify the device connected, and then it's automatically running here on the TV, on the Android TV.
So are you also able to get hot reload, live reload working?
Yes.
Yes.
On Android TV, yes. On TVOS, for example, for LG, not really, because I had to package. First, I have to build the JavaScript app from the React Native app, and then package it with their SDKs and tools into a web app. But then I was able to inspect the app with their own tools. So they have some, it's an extension of Chrome developers tool that you can use to connect to your LG TV, for example. So even here, different platform, different TV, different way to.
Okay, so let's move into the end game, which is probably getting my app into the store.
Okay.
I know this is challenging for Apple and Android in general to submit the app. I mean, with EAS, it becomes quite easy, but how does it work for TV apps? Is it hard? How do I build my app? How does it work?
So the deployment process into an app store is essentially the same that you can have for the mobile one. So you need to pass the review. There are here App Store has its own different guidelines. We have the Amazon guidelines. I can tell you where they are. So the apps need to respond to a certain specific best practice. And then you have to have the resources that are a little bit different. In the smartphone, you have the screenshot in a different way. You will have the same for TV or video preview of the app, because you need to to fill it up all the different information that you want for to be displayed on the App Store. And from Android TV, I try, so you can use the Google Play console. There is like a option form factor, and then from there you can actually select TV, and then it brings you to the TV page of the Google Play console. Of course, they are always changing, so maybe it can be like different now. For Amazon App Store, of course, I work there, so I know perfectly what it is. And you can, the interface is the same. You can just deploy your APK. It's an APK. And then it will be automatically detected as a TV app because it's in the manifest, in the Android manifest XML. It's written and there is a flag that says, okay, it's a TV app. So the store will automatically select for you some like platform, so like some Fire TV compatible with this app, or you can manually select with a checkbox if you want a specific device, enable or disable. Other store, like as well, LG, they have their own rules, so you need to package your app, deploy there. Good luck. There are different procedures, but yeah.
And for Apple App Store Connect is probably used in the same way, like it would use. Okay.
The thing is, like I said, so there is a lot of friction, like in this world of TV development, like from the development to test and deployment of the app. I would say, even because it's a niche, it's a small niche. Of course, it's like smaller than the Android, than the smartphone, Android or tablets world. But there is also, because there are a lot of friction, I like to think there are a lot of opportunities for our developers to success. Like imagine building a tool that the tools that helps developers to deploy their app across different TV or like managing these like the focus management. So there are many opportunities because there are many frictions.
I mean, there's not only opportunities in like these tools around it, but probably also on the TV itself. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people use these apps. To be honest, I just like go to my Apple TV App Store once every half year because I just use like Netflix and YouTube app and like Crossy Road maybe sometimes. Okay. But I don't know. Maybe there's like an opportunity to build cool stuff for TVs. Have you built any, or have you worked with companies that build anything like in your background? It's more like the classical Netflix demo of the cards and stuff. Yes, but have you seen other cool apps being built with React Native that are probably like not the traditional just watching stuff apps?
The majority has, like, when I say also at some presentation in the past, content is the king. So like you have the app that is streaming video, that is showing something. The content is the most important part. So I would say like the majority of them have this solution. If you want to develop an app, you need to have some content to display to the user. Then we saw a lot of increase into educational apps that you can think about, okay, even that apps are content, that kind of apps, like you can learn new languages with the TV app, like something like that. So meditation app, health and fitness, I would say. There are a lot of users that use TV with meditation apps. Fitness, but of course fitness, you actually see that you watch how an exercise is performed with a movie. It's like similar. Then there are mini games. I would say I call mini games. There are, like you say, like Crossy Road, like hyper casual games, and that's because the platform doesn't allow to develop a AAA games. That's the thing. Like not all the TV. And then usually, if you build for TV, if you want to play with the TV, you play with the console. That's the thing.
True.
But the majority are like streaming apps, media apps. But like there could be some possibility around different style of apps. Imagine these.
Maybe like a React Native learning app. So I built a Galaxies app where you can watch my courses on TV.
Yeah, you can try there, like put it on a TV.
I mean, that's funny. It's a funny idea. I don't know. It could be an idea. I gotta have to. Yeah, I will definitely try and build something with TVOS because I feel like I'm so close. I even have the Apple TV simulator up. I just can't. I just can't.
This would be amazing. But one more thing would be like even like use your smartphone as a second screen. Like you have the TV app there, and maybe I don't know. You say I have the React Native course on this TV. And then maybe there is some like, question answering that you can use like instead of the controller, you can use like the phone as a second screen, or learning together with your friends with this phone. So like there are a lot of things. Complex, but yeah.
Yeah, a live quiz show where you can submit your answers by the phone.
Yeah. So that your friend cannot see actually, like the answer. So.
So many cool ideas. Yeah,
Mhm.
nice. So, coming to an end, let's quickly talk about like future plans. Do you have any idea like what will change in general with TV apps? Will they? Is there any change coming in the near future, and probably also related to React Native, or do you think it's just like going to improve slightly, but no dramatic changes?
So I see like in React Native specifically, the developer experience is improving a lot. And that's like across all the framework and tools, like we say like Expo. Like I saw like there are conf, so I say use now the frameworks, and this is gonna help a lot. In TV, I see that will be like an improvement of developer experience as well, coming from React Native as well, but even coming from other producer and even like software developers. So like improvement of software of developer experience. And like of course we need to jump on the train in the train on the train of AI. So there will be like services integrated with your app for TV as well using AI. But it's like okay, you can think about using that as a service, fine. Like okay, there are platforms now that I think even for TV, it's suggesting you movies based on something that you can like more specific of your taste, and so improvement because of AI services and LLM as well. More integration with your TV in the living room space. You can use the TV as a hub to control the lights. This is something that you can already done, but smarter in a smarter way with LLM as well. So control that things. I think with Amazon you can connect your Ring. I never tried, but you can connect your Ring and a lot of devices, and then you can see the cameras from the TV and so on. Maybe perform action automatically, something like that. And then what I see, I hope there will be like more and more unified process for TV. So like even like unifying these development tools, like trying to fix a little bit the fragmentation across the different producer, but that's something that doesn't depend on me or even a company. So yeah. And then like even the virtual reality world, it will be close and close to the one of TV. Maybe I don't know. Like okay, like I saw people like now using the headset as a TV with a virtual 3 meters distance. Actually, the screen is here, but there is a virtual distance. And in that case, it's more complicated because they don't use the control. I mean, some people use the controller because they have the controller. Some platform doesn't have the controller at all. No, you can use this. And so it's going to be trickier.
Or you just look at something, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a whole new level for focus management then.
Yeah, no, I spoke with some person say, yes, I like that, like eye tracking, but my eyes are getting tired because actually the eyes are not really done for like the like to move so rapidly across. Yeah, when you test it, it's fine, but then imagine like to do like this for a lot of interaction. Maybe
probably feel like a chicken. I think a chicken can only look forward, so they turn their head like the whole time. Awesome, Giovanni. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain all of this. I will put a link to your app.js talk below this. Any other place where I can find people out more about you and what you're doing at Amazon?
Oh, yeah. I use a lot LinkedIn. I was used to use Twitter a lot before. Now I don't using a lot. But I use a lot LinkedIn, and they can add me. I will add we can add like the handle after. And I usually on Tuesday I have my post, like I call it Tuesday TV app development secret. And every Tuesday I post on LinkedIn some like tips about TV app development.
I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I will definitely put the link below. So everyone go to Giovanni's LinkedIn, and every Tuesday you're going to see a nice post about TV apps. And I hope we're going to see some people commenting or now getting into TV apps as well, based on your work.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining today's episode. My goal is to share interesting stories and insights into the world of React Native development. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. And on Spotify and Apple, you can leave up to a 5-star review. Because podcasts, and especially niche podcasts like this, are hard to find, subscribing and leaving a review does help me a lot. On top of that, check out my React Native courses on galaxies.dev that cover a variety of topics from getting started to building and publishing your mobile app. Finally, you can share today's episode with a friend or colleague who would enjoy the topic of the show. If you have any questions or ideas for future episodes, find me on X or leave a comment on YouTube. And last but not least, thank you for listening and happy coding, Simon.